Friends, amidst all the injustice in the world, I want you to remember that sometimes genuinely terrible things happen to genuinely terrible people who deserve them, and it's hilarious. And if you don't believe me, just look at what happened to Trump sycophant, fascist enabler, and Batman villain, Rudy Giuliani, who was just ordered by a jury to pay $148 million to two election workers whom he cruelly defamed after Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. But before we unpack all that, if you haven't yet, please hit that like, subscribe, and the alert bell. All right, folks, again, I've told you before, I'm a pessimist by nature. I'm a cynic. I always see the glass as half empty. That's something I struggle with. And when you're inundated in electoral politics and political news, it's easy to get down. So if you're heading into the weekend and you're anything like me and you want something like a little pick-me-up, let's look at this story, because justice was served to one of the worst people in United States politics. We're going to play some clips and we'll unpack them together.
The distress they claim. NBC senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett joins me. Laura, break all this down for us.
Yeah, Lester, Giuliani facing that massive jury verdict just coming in moments ago. As you announced, the top line number there, $148 million there he is being ordered to pay, having already been found liable on the core claims of defamation and emotional distress for these two election workers who were doing their civic duty that day back in 2020, counting absentee ballots. Giuliani had wrongfully, falsely accused them of engaging in voter fraud, having gone on a conservative network and made a number of statements which these women testified to changed the course of their lives. After he made those statements, he essentially unleashed a torrent of violent and racist rhetoric against them, and today he's being ordered to pay, again, top line number, $148 million. They broke it down, Lester, against a number of different claims here for defamation, emotional distress. We'll run through all of the different numbers there, but Lester, I should point out punitive damages in particular here, $75 million. Punitive damages, of course, awarded to send a message, Lester.
All right.
Message received. I mean, again, it's great. Got some more clips here. So right now we have Shay Moss, who is the daughter, because the two involved, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, their mother and daughter. This is what she said in the aftermath of the jury verdict.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shay Moss. I spent 10 years as an election worker in Fulton County, Georgia. The lies Rudy Giuliani told about me and my mommy after the 2020 presidential election have changed our lives. And the past few years has been devastating. The flame that Giuliani lit with those lies and passed to so many others to keep that flame blazing changed every aspect of our lives. Our homes, our family, our work, our sense of safety, our mental health, and we're still working to rebuild. As we move forward and continue to seek justice, our greatest wish is that no one, no election worker or voter or school board member or anyone else ever experiences anything like what we went through. You all matter and you are all important. We hope no one ever has to fight so hard just to get your name back. We're very grateful to the jury for taking the time out of their busy lives to do their civic duty, to listen to everything that we've been going through. I know I won't be able to retire from my job with the county like my grandmother did, but I hope by us taking these steps, these very big steps towards justice, that I can make her just as proud. Thank you.
So, again, with all the stuff going on in the political news, it's easy to forget about these incredibly important stories because there's so many to keep track of. But yeah, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss were career election workers, right? They were just doing their civic duty. It was nonpartisan. They were just counting the damn votes. And they were scapegoated by Rudy Giuliani and members of the Trump orbit as part of, the big lie that the election was stolen from Donald Trump, when in fact he's just a loser who was soundly defeated by President Biden in 2020. Now, we got a couple of clips to play of the Penguin himself, Rudy Giuliani, after the verdict came out. This one is particularly funny because it has Jake Tapper from CNN narrating.
Of Rudy Giuliani looking at his phone, He's being followed by some people who are obviously not fans of his, and that's his attorney. Rudy Giuliani having been delivered almost a 150. Let's listen in. I don't regret a damn thing he just said.
Yeah, well, that's a good, brave front, Mr. Giuliani. I'm not sure I believe it entirely, but for whatever reason, he's confident that he can get this entire thing reversed.
Of course, there's very little I can say right now. I have to analyze this. Obviously, possibly we'll move for a new trial. Certainly we'll appeal. The absurdity of the number merely underscores the absurdity of the entire proceeding, where I've not been allowed to offer one single piece of evidence in defense, of which I have a lot. So I am quite confident when this case gets before a fair tribunal, it'll be reversed so quickly, it'll make your head spin.
Well, Rudy Giuliani's not been much of a prophet, so I wouldn't put too much stock into what he says. He also thought, again, the election was stolen, that, the courts would rule in Trump's favor when they litigated, Trump's election lies and over 60 court cases, and they lost every single one because, of course, Giuliani's an idiot and a liar and a loser and a conspiracy theorist who should be mocked relentlessly. But I'll also point out, Barb McQuaid actually pointed this out on Twitter. So part of what the jury... part of the conditions, rather, the type of settlement or figure that Giuliani is supposed to pay, it's not subject to bankruptcy. So jury has awarded $148 million to Shaye Moss and Ruby Freeman against Giuliani for defaming them. Judgment for intentional torts are not dischargeable in bankruptcy. So if he doesn't manage to overturn this through appeal, he's going to stick with this for the rest of his life. He's going to have to pay this off. There's no way to get rid of it. Axios has like a long breakdown of it, but the decision marks another multi-million-dollar penalty in a case related to lies about the 2020 election and will add to Giuliani's mounting legal fees and financial troubles. Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss, again, mother-daughter, the two Fulton County, Georgia election workers, sued Giuliani and the right-wing media outlet One American News Network for repeating allegations that they committed ballot fraud. OAN settled with Moss and Freeman, so that's done. The pair sought between $15.5 million and $43 million from Giuliani. The jury was like, nah, screw that. We're going to go way higher than that. And that's good. Good for them. So let's see. During the trial, Freeman described the onslaught of threats she and Moss faced as part of the things Giuliani said about them. They both received numerous racist messages along with death threats. The trial ended without testimony from Giuliani, who said he intended to speak under oath before backing out. But the judge reminded him that if he said anything defamatory under oath, that it could contribute to the defamation case. So again, I'm not a legal expert. I don't know. It's entirely possible, I suppose, that he could luck out and get this somehow struck down. But right now, it's terrible news for him. The last thing I want to play here is a clip from Ruby Freeman, the mother, because she ends on, I think, a really powerful note for those of us who are sane, those of us on the left, those of us who are not part of the MAGA cult. But the MAGA cult should probably, certainly the likes of Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell and Donald Trump and others, they should all have their collective sphincters clenched when they hear her words.
Good evening, everyone. I am Lady Ruby. Today's a good day. A jury stood witness to what Rudy Giuliani did to me and my daughter and held him accountable, and for that I'm thankful. Today is not the end of the road. We still have work to do. Rudy Giuliani was not the only one who spread lies about us, and others must be held accountable too. But that is tomorrow's work.
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I don't know about the rest of you. But yeah, this is great news. And listen, is there some schadenfreude here? Yes. Do I regret it? No. It's okay to delight in the misfortunes of terrible people who have intentionally inflicted misfortunes on others, which is precisely what Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump and others who are the high priests of the MAGA cult, they have done. So no, I think this is awesome. I think it's hilarious. And hopefully it will hold under scrutiny if and when Giuliani appeals it. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Great day for democracy. Terrible day for Giuliani.